Don't do it.
Hello, and welcome to All About Comics. I'm JP, and I'm joined tonight by
Pope G.
Hope G
What's going on?
and
Hazel Dan.
Hazel Dan. Welcome. First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah. Been friends for a long time now, but yeah.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to have you guys on with us,
Yeah.
for years. It took us, this long to make it happen.
Yeah, and we've been watching you guys since way back in the day too. So
Yeah.
we've been we've been
Probably since we met at Fan Expo,
yeah,
like years
Yeah.
ago.
or before that.
Before
yeah.
that,
Yeah, because we were watching your old podcast thing, whatever you used to do. So yeah.
Yeah, we did that, and obviously the Fan Expo thing. So we've survived pandemics together. We
Yeah.
we survived comic book drama together. It's just
Survived the Rob Liefeld stuff.
yeah.
That was a treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the coolest book ever.
Yes,
So-
yeah.
He's a popular dude for
Yeah,
one
yeah.
for one reason or another.
I remember you kind of came back and you're like, yeah, I tried to find the most ridiculous thing I could find. And I was like, oh, that's kind of so amazing. Yeah,
And I can't remember who I gave that away to.
it wasn't us.
No, it was probably back when we were doing the show and everything.
Yeah.
And there was like we did random giveaways so much back then, so it was always just
Yeah. You got a sign, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I'll never forget that. I always have that memory of him looking at that book and looking me right in the eye and say, "That's a great cover, man." I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yep, I agree.
That's awesome.
What was it like, Velocity or something? I can't remember what the heck it was, but
That was it. Yeah, it was like one of those
All I remember was a girl
yeah,
with,
out of proportion
yeah.
body parts. And,
yeah, it was one of those.
yeah.
I found it for $0.25. I remember that it was in Omaha when I was living there. So,
Yeah.
Well, what you guys been up to?
Nothing really, just working. And that's about it, man. We haven't really been doing much of anything. We got some,
Watching some hockey.
yeah, I've been watching hockey. But yeah,
So, who do you guys like in the finals then, since it starts tomorrow?
Florida.
Florida.
I'm feeling some
Yeah.
Florida.
I think it's crazy that they made it there.
Mhm.
All the teams, there'd be some really good teams to get there. I'm really surprised they.
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
weren't they an 8 seed?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So they got in by like 1 point.
they got it.
Yeah.
I think they just snuck in there by 1 point at the end of the season, and man, they've just been making all kinds of noise in the playoffs.
It's crazy. I'm
Really?
not a huge fan of Vegas, so
Okay,
I got a nod for Florida on this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious that it's the first year after Kachuk leaves Calgary, he's in the finals.
I
I
know.
don't think he was the problem in Calgary.
Yeah, yeah, kind of makes you wonder about Calgary a little bit.
But man, he's been incredible.
Yeah, and the Dallas Stars, they played like a bunch of chumps.
Well, Game 7, that was really disappointing.
That was just so awful, man. Yeah, just I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can get to that point of the season, get that far into the playoffs, and play so poorly in a game that matters so much. Like just
Well, yeah, that was Game
Yeah.
6, wasn't it? They didn't make it to Game
yeah,
7.
game
Yeah.
6, but it was their game 7. It was
Yeah.
do or die, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything on the
Losing
line.
is one thing, but getting shut out at
I
home
don't
with
mind-
your star player back.
I don't mind if you fight hard and lose, and it's just a tough fought battle. You just can't pull it out. But man, they just didn't even show up. It was humiliating. Yeah, it was. We turned it off after goal 3. We're like, yep, I'm done. So
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
kind of hard to watch after a while.
Mhm.
yeah,
Man, my 12-year-old son is really into basketball. Like, he's
okay,
obsessed with basketball.
okay,
So we've been, well, we figured Denver's going to probably sweep the Heat. There's not even like I don't think the Heat have a snowball's chance.
I don't either. I
Denver's
think-
so good,
Yeah,
and I
they're
don't care about
gonna win 4
basketball.
or 5 games for sure. I think, yeah,
But we watched the game last night, and I was like, man, this is like they're down by 21. I'm like, this is getting boring.
Who does your son like? Who's your son's favorite team?
Oh, he's a big John Morant fan, so I guess
Yeah.
Grizzlies would be his team right now.
Yeah, too bad that guy can't stay out of trouble, man.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, of course you want to pick the guy who can't stay away from
Yeah.
guns. Like,
Yeah.
literally, it's your job. Just avoid them. Not a problem.
Yeah.
You make $200 million a year playing basketball. Let's don't mess that up.
Yeah. It's a good basketball player too, man. That's really,
Yeah,
I don't know, not good.
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what about you, Pope? What's been going on in your world?
I've just been. I would working a little bit at the theater. We don't have any shows during the summer, but that I have a whole bunch of storage crap I have to move and stuff. But other than that, I've just been pretty much getting comic books off eBay, and I've been going through my collection and trying to price them out, like, and organize at the same time. Mainly just so I can see how much my collection is actually worth, and just in case I kick the bucket, my wife's not like, what do I do with these things?
What you ought to do is what we did is we got an Excel spreadsheet, and we just went through everything that we have. Almost like we haven't updated like a lot of the newer stuff that we got,
That
but
spreadsheet's like obsolete. We've
forgot
to update.
Forgot to update so much, but we had it like for a while there. We had it current for everything that we had, what we paid for each book, and what the value is now, and we would update it like on a yearly basis or a 6-month basis.
Like the bigger books.
Most of the bigger books, yeah, they're the ones
everything.
that value, not everything, but the things that are kind of a value, and and then we just kind of did that and updated as we get new books, but we quit updating it. But it's a good way to keep track of it, and you can kind of also, it's an easy fix. You can update the numbers and do stuff like pretty quickly with it. So
I have been uploading them up on that CLZ app.
Yeah,
I love that app.
That's a great app. Yeah.
So I've been hitting, like, it's just a long process of like beep.
Yeah. But it's kind of fun though. I think it's kind of fun going through everything and adding the books and doing that. It's a lot more fun than a spreadsheet, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like how it gives you like the breakdowns, like
the key issue.
But also like your collection, like what percentage of each character you have. Like, I think that's kind of fun.
That's what I like too.
Mine will just say boobs.
Yeah.
Bubblies.
Blades.
Bubblegum.
Kickstarter.
Like anything with a B.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't stretch my alphabet very far.
Booties, bazookas, blades, bubblegum, bats.
Barbarella.
Bats. You're good to go.
So, you guys have any collecting goals for the year?
Yeah.
What's your goal?
My goal?
Yeah.
I don't know. My goal is to stay out of trouble.
What's a good goal?
Yeah, we were. Man, I've been like, y'all ever getting that kick to where you like start daydreaming and fantasizing about all the stuff you want to buy on the auctions and stuff like that? I'm in one of those weird places where, man, I just want to get all the stuff that I want, and it's not feasible. It's like, yeah, I can't do that. Like, I'm not. Yeah. I can't do that.
I see him over there on his phone, like writing his list, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I'm in total.
His list like just keeps getting longer, and I'm like,
I'm just in total like obsessive mode, like going over stuff I've been wanting since I was a kid, and most of it's like, way out of limit for right now. We're not ready for it yet, so it's kind of we should save up every year and we'll buy some stuff. But we've already,
like collecting it's a lifelong journey, right? It's not like a sprint. You don't have to get everything now.
And I want to cram it all in right now. So I'm looking at one book that's like, it's just not going to happen, but it's not happening. It's up for auction right now. It's like way not happening. But I'm like, yeah. So I'm just like kind of that ridiculous stuff that I can't do right now and things like that. And but realistic goals, we've met 2 of them this last year. One of them wasn't even a goal. It was just like a fantasy dream thing, and we ended up getting one of those. Took us about 6 months over the last year, and then we just got another one.
Well, we're
working on it. We won the book a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to be. We got a payment plan on it. We'll have it here in a few months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Like, can you tell me like what I mean, obviously you don't have to share like everything, but like, or something you're not uncomfortable with, but like, how do you break down your goals? And like, it's like if you see this book that you want, like, and you're like, this is how I'm gonna obtain this book.
Yeah, that's a great question. What we'll do is we kind of assess, like, we take our assets and what we can use to trade if we have to, or we find out how much money we have saved up already, and it depends on what it is. So lately we've been kind of on this golden age kind of kick, and you guys know that stuff can get kind of expensive, and so we've been buying some of that, and if you don't have the money front, like, so if you win it at an auction or however you win it, you got to trade stuff in. So what we do is we scramble around and we look at the auction. We plan it out for however long we're going to plan it out.
Yeah, usually before the auction starts, like we'll kind of talk about what we want, what we think realistically it would go for, and then we start looking at like our books and say, okay, what is it that we have that we can
trade that we don't
maybe do without or get back later to make
we check for duplicates, what's replaceable, what's not replaceable, what we're willing to sacrifice, because at some point you get to the stuff to where it's like, well, I gotta sacrifice some stuff if I want to get this book, and that's kind of where we've been this last year. Made it happen with a couple of books, but it cost us. So we just assess book per book, and some books are just like, okay, we can have that money in a month, we can save us money, get that one in a month, or we can get this one today. It's $50 or something, and this book's $25-$50 and
stuff like that doesn't take planning, but like the bigger ones, like
that's how we do it. And we've been doing that for, man, y'all probably know, we've been collecting about 15 years now, since we, a long time ago when we first met. And we amassed like our Silver Age collection. We started on that stuff 15 years ago, and we had a plan that we stuck with. So we knew we set our goals. We want these 6 books for sure, 100%. We want these 6 books. Don't know if we can get them, but this is what we want, and this is how much they cost. And it's not real realistic, but let's see if we can make it happen. And we would just go book by book. So whatever book was the cheapest, whichever book was the hottest, that we could get that was the most affordable, the most practical,
or that we thought was gonna go up first.
So if there's a book that we're like, okay, so in 5 years, realistically, we can't get this book, so this is the one we need to focus on now. And we would focus on that, and we'd, do whatever we needed to do, trade books, money, save up, whatever, and we'd get that book. And then we usually get like one big book a year. So when we first started collecting, we didn't buy stuff. We just basically got like 1 or 2 big books a year. And we planned it all out, and we just had a routine for it. And that's kind of how we did it. It's like, we just looked at GPA, we looked at everything, found out what these books are worth, how much they go up every year. Very meticulous about it.
And it may have been like pre-GPA. Sometimes we would just look at the price guides and see okay, this book seems to always go up, 10% a year, or whatever the case is. So this is the book that's going to be out of our reach soon, so we need to focus on that
one. And then
we can,
And then if something came up that was just a better deal, and it was like, we can't pass up on this because it's 20% under market value right now. Like, we can get this for 20% under market value, and we just need to go ahead and get this. We need to get this because and we'll do that. So we deviate like that, but we kind of made sure we knew what we were doing and we weren't making any mistakes with it. And of course, over that period,
everyone makes mistakes.
You make mistakes, but we made some mistakes and did really well. Made a lot of mistakes, but so now there's some books like we're just not gonna, we never got a couple of them, and we held out for too long, and then we had to end up overpaying for it because we wanted it later on. And it's like, well, I'm paying 20% more than I wanted to for this book now, but I want it, so I guess we're just gonna have to suck it up and do it. And so you kind of live and learn and stuff like that. But that's how we did it. We just planned it pretty well, and just have all our stuff ready and have all our ducks in a row. And try to stick to the plan. The hardest part for us is sticking to the plan, right? So
That's
Yeah.
even hard now.
yeah,
That's all I was going to ask you about. It's like you get to that, like, because
Yeah.
like, all right, I want this book.
yes,
I'm gonna get this book by the end of the year. But then,
Yeah.
someone like a couple artists will drop these badass like exclusive covers and stuff, and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
we got sidetracked for 2 years doing that. It's like we went on this 2-year whoop this way.
I think it was
whenever we,
easier at the beginning because we're like, okay, well, we know what all we want. Then as we started getting them and we got closer to our goals, and it's like, okay, now we can kind of, I don't want to say like relax and like enjoy a little bit more, but we can.
Yeah. And man, we just kind of went on these, it's like, oh my gosh, like just this variant and that variant, and this, ratio and that ratio, and this cover and that cover. And it just went on for a couple of years. We got away from the way we normally do it. It's like, oh man, we have to stop. Like we're bleeding.
I mean,
but
we enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it.
Like,
we had fun, but it's like, we gotta. Man, if you don't prep that in though, like you'll never.
But yeah, it does get to the point where like you start getting boxes and boxes, and then it kind of goes into like, well, do I look at everything that I have? Like, am I still enjoying these books, or is it time to maybe, sell those and get something else that I would enjoy more? Like this.
What about you, Pup? Like, what's your like? You just kind of buy what you like when you see it. Like, kind of what do you normally kind of? How do you get your stuff? How do you do yours?
Like, I almost feel like you answered the question before you answered it while you asked it. Like a lot of times, I have like every once in a while I have a few things. There's a few books that I always ask myself, like like I'm always like I'm gonna start like building up so I can get this particular book.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely, I have to say I got like a good 3 of them out of the like my my holy grails, my personal holy grails.
Yeah.
Because I wanted because I'm a big Wolverine fan, so I wanted Wolverine's first appearance.
Yeah.
I wanted Dakin's. I have all of his first appearances now, but
cool.
for a long time I didn't have the third claw variant because that thing was a little expensive, and then the first appearance of X-23. And then I'm after Sinestro's first appearance. So out of all those, I got Wolverine's camo.
Yeah.
So I mean that was something that just kind of fell in my lap at a really good time.
Okay.
And, my LCS just had a huge loading of old Incredible Hulks. And I was like, do you have 181? And they was just like, I already sent it off to CDC. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, let me start, let me do a payment plan or something,
Yeah.
And then he's like, but I do have this. And he pulled out 180. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, I'll sell it to you for 400. And I was like, done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I don't even think he he may have been kind, but I'm glad he did because I don't think he realized how good of a grade it was.
Yeah.
And because if I profit speaking, I made way over 1,000 something on it,
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that book shot up too. Is because we wanted that's one of the ones we wanted too. We never got that one, but it was definitely on our radar. And we wanted to get we wanted to get all 3 of them, right? The cameo, the first, and the I think there's 3 books in that.
Just that, yeah. The 180.
180.
The 181.
182. Yeah, we wanted to get all 3 of those. The only one we ever ended up getting is our 181. And but do you have a hard time do you have a hard time sticking to so you're aiming for that book and the Hulk 181? You're aiming for those. Do you have a hard time sticking with what's your goal? Your goal is that. So do you have a hard time not deviating and going off the deep end with stuff and sticking to the plan and making it happen? Do you kind of have a hard time with that sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes yeah, but I can't lie. It's basically like that. A lot of times I'll see just covers that I like, or because there's certain artists I like to chase. And and I've been dollar bin diving a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I sacrificed a little bit because I love like diving. So it's like it's not.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, but there's a point in time where I should, I gotta sacrifice, dollar bin diving or whatever in order to focus on this goal.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of dollar bin diving when we had an LCS kind of near us that had dollar books. I mean, ours never really had.
No, but we would go to another one.
And that would help. I mean,
yeah,
it would kind of help satisfy like that itch of like, I want to get books and,
yeah, it definitely fix the itch. But the problem is like when you go there and you go through the dollar bin and you can't stop pulling stuff out of the bin, and then it's like, well, that's $100.
Yeah.
That's $150.
I end up walking away with like huge ass stacks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
There goes my whole 180. I just spent $400 on dollar books. No more whole 180. Dang it. Yeah,
and
that's the problem.
And another thing I found out is that like if there is a book that I'm after, like sometimes I'll stumble across like a whole new series that I haven't seen before, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool, then like, my brain starts chasing that for a little bit, and then it's just kind of like, the big pictures kind of faded off a little bit.
Yeah.
That's my struggle. Staying on task.
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Jeff, do you have any like long-term goals for yours, or do you have any like anything that you just kind of have always wanted, plan on getting, and got planned out for that? Or
my biggest problem is that I can't get over the 9.8 number. Like there's books that I want that I could have gotten raw. I could have gotten in a 9.4, 9.6, but no, my brain says you have to have 9.8 if it's a modern. So I struggle with that because the two number one books on my list I should have had 10 times over if I wanted to. That's the frustrating thing. But instead I'm chasing covers or like, oh, there's a new Kickstarter, I gotta support them because it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's my biggest downfall. I do lists, because of y'all. I mean, every once in a while I get a text says, "What's your collecting goals, JP?" And I say, "You know what? Let me write some down." And I appreciate the list because it keeps me at least focused to know what I want. It's just a matter of getting myself off the, stay on track and be like, okay, just check this book off. Now, I did get to check off one book this year off my list, and I was pretty happy about that.
Okay.
And that's just because it's a really hard book to find.
Yeah.
But it was just I think it's the G.I. Joe Swerta #2 Natalie Sanders cover. Like they're impossible to find. There's one on eBay right now, which is I don't know if you guys remember Freddie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he just put one up for sale. I think it's a 9.4, 9.2, 9.4.
Okay.
But that's the first one I've seen other than the one that I got in like 2 years.
Yeah.
There was another Kickstarter book that I was on my list, and I got that this year. I had to get it from some dude in Europe, but I got it. So, like I haven't seen any of those pop up since, and I've been waiting almost 2 years for that book to come up for sale. So that's kind of my thing, is just the rare stuff. Like, like a lot of stuff with the Golden Age. You guys know that if you may miss an opportunity here, you may never see it again.
It might be 2, 3, 4 years or never that you get the chance to get it.
If it does come up, you don't know if it's going to be something that you
lower grade, a middle grade, or something you can like way out of your range, or something that's like barely in your. It's just kind of, you don't know, and especially those rare books like you're talking about. You don't know if a 9.8 is going to pop up, or what they're going to want for it, or 9.4, 9.2, or 9.0, or if it's a rare book like that with a modern, you might not see anything like that again for a couple of years. And I mean, some of those don't. I mean, there's just some ghost books out there, So.
And then some people want to price
gouge. eBay's the man. There's nothing. And you look on eBay, and it's like, man, well, what are you doing, man? It's like so much. I was like, you're not getting, people asking like $80,000 for a mid-grade. I'm like, come on, man, that's like a $5,000 book, and they got like 80,000 or best offer, and stop it, man. Yeah. So I don't know why they do that kind of stuff, but
I'm trying to list my stuff for 80,000.
yeah, it's just whatever. And I see all kinds of stuff like that. It's like the 10,000 or best offer. I'm like, the book's like only about $1,000 at the most, you know. And then how to do 10,000 for it is weird.
Those people are asking con prices. Dang.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Do y'all when y'all are shopping on eBay and you see like those raw books, y'all have a lot of luck with buying the raw books and getting them back, and they're like, I'm assuming like you look at them and you make sure you can see the front and the back, and do y'all like doing that, like getting the raw books and like hoping that for the 9/8 and stuff like that, or do you just prefer to buy them graded?
Well, I have the fantasy of getting them raw and slabbing them myself and then reaping all the profit.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I was saying the other day, I was talking to you guys. You can find some 9/8 now for some nice books that are like basically the same price you would pay to buy the book, submit the book, and you save yourself the one-time shipping fee.
That's what I was about to say. Like, and there's no waiting time. Like, you know, it's 9.8, so there's no guessing involved.
Yeah.
It's going to be about close to the same price. If anything, a lot of times if I do buy them slabbed, like, the only thing I'd probably be spending is maybe $5 more than I would for me to send the raw out, and then I'd have to wait. You know, well, you guys know all about the waiting process.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's kind of getting to the point like when on the trading card side of the world, they call it the junk slab era. So you're going through the process where everyone got everything graded, so nothing is really, you know, it's just a waste of money. Not everything needs to be graded in comics, and that's a hard thing for people to get past, because there for a while it was slab it, it's listed, slab it, and sell it.
Right.
You know? But now it's what, $25 a book to get slabbed at the modern tier or whatever. And then the cover price for a book is at least $5, right? So that's $30 right there, plus shipping both ways. You know, it's just sometimes it doesn't make sense. But and again, my biggest struggle is not every book has to be graded, because I get obsessed with the 9.8 idea that I want to have a huge wall of 9/8, and that's all. You know, there can't be a 9/6 on there. That would mess everything up.
Yeah. I'm the same way too.
Yeah.
We
kind of struggle with that sometimes too.
Obsessive compulsive kind of like OCD kind of stuff. You know, it's like
I'll settle for a 9/6 though if it, price right.
Yeah, if it's priced right for sure. Yeah, and we have we have 9/0s, 9/2s, and we have them all over the place. But I'm like you though, Jeffrey. I'd much rather have like the 9/8s and the modern books and stuff like that. But you can't get them all in 9/8. So.
Well, and that's what I'm struggling with. I was, talking the other day. I'm just like, at what point do I have to accept that there are some books that may never show up in a 9/8?
Right.
You know, like some of this rare stuff that I want. There's one on a 9/4 here. It's the only book that's been listed in the last year. Do I just go with and get the 9/4 and like a placement holder type scenario, just in case the 9/8 ever shows up? You know, it's just a lot of like, I don't know, obsession, I guess, is really what it comes down to.
If you saw one of those that came in, like one of those ghost books you're talking about that you really wanted, if you saw one that came in a 9/8, but let's say it was overpriced by about 10%, would you just pull the trigger on it?
Oh, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't have, because when you really want something and you can, if you can afford it, I don't think that really matters to most of us collectors of rare things, at least. I mean, if it was a regular old book that you can get any day of the week, sure, I'd wait, be patient.
Talk about those ones you're on the lookout for, that your goals are for, that like you just don't ever see them and you don't know when the opportunity is going to come up again, and
Well, I imagine those are hard to price too because of that.
Because they show up. Yeah, we had some books like that. We couldn't figure out the price on them. We had some Masters of the Universe books.
Oh,
and they're just ghost books. Like, we didn't see any, like, and we got ours graded. They came back in a 9/8. We had them raw. We got them about 4 years ago, maybe. I had no idea what they were, and she just kept looking at them. She goes, "I think these might actually be worth something, but I don't know." And we ended up selling them. to get some stuff that we wanted, but we didn't know. Yeah, but we didn't really know how much to.
You just throw up a number and.
Yeah, and like somebody made some offers. I'm like, okay, well, I hope I'm not selling this for half of what it's worth, but we'll see, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of times though, like in those situations, it's all about what you have invested into it. It's a little easier to swallow that you may have not got top market for something whenever you didn't have top market invested in it.
And not for me. I want what that book's worth. Like if I paid because we've only paid a couple of dollars for both those books, and we did very, 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 very well on it. But I mean,
But I'm like, a win is a win, and it helps us get what we want. So let's move on. Like,
yeah, I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I had a couple of turnovers in that win.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Yeah, I kind of have a hard time. We sold some books this last year that they were at the lower end of the market, and we were hoping for middle or high, but we got low end
At least
for the year.
Close to market, but we got the low end.
We got the very low end of the market on a few books that we sold. It was really disappointing, even though we made out just fine. I mean, we didn't, because we got the books years ago. We didn't pay as much for them as what they're worth now, and so we definitely, we did good. But I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be, but it did disappoint me. But
what disappointed me about that was that we had to sell more to make up that difference.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about what they went for.
Yeah,
it's just,
it didn't get us what we wanted, so then we had to turn around and sell another book. So about crap.
I'm really good at the buy high, sell low strategy. I'm fantastic at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we've all got that down.
Yeah.
Worked very hard at that.
Well, I think the market has changed so much in especially the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Just crazy to see some of the prices like once were and now they are, and it's just like, and it's across all collectibles. It isn't just comics. I still obviously follow the trading card world, sports cards, and it's
it did all that there too, right?
What's that?
The trading cards, the sports cards, and the trading cards, the Pokemon, everything. It wasn't just comic books; like everything went nuts for about a year.
Yeah. From the 2020 to 2022, it just was up here, and then the beginning of 2022, it started around March, just started going this, and now it's like.
So the cards, did the cards like the comic books? So a lot of the good comic books that are like keys and stuff, they went way up too much, like 300%, and now they're down half of what they were. So like, let's say a book jumped up to $3,000, and now it's down to like $1,500, but it's still $500 more than it was,
2 years ago.
Yeah. So it still went up, and it's still up, but it's not like 300% up. It's still it dropped in half. Did that happen with cards too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You look at just take the most iconic sports card, I would say, is the Michael Jordan Fleer rookie card, right? So the graded 10s were up towards like what, 700,000-800,000. This is not a rare card by any means. I mean, anyone in the 80s, you got 2 to 3 per box. So it wasn't like you weren't getting this card if you bought a box for $20.
Right.
But regardless, high conditions, they got up to almost $1 million. And then now, they're probably down to maybe 50 to 100,000.
Oh.
Like it's that big of a drop off. Like I'm fairly certain.
So that's probably what it should be, right? I don't
exactly have a pulse on it, but that's pretty good guesstimate.
So so JP, what was it before the big boom? Like, was it still around 50,000 at that time, or was it like
probably 30?
Okay.
So
it still went up, but
it did. All the big cards are up, just like with comics over the last couple of years. It's just a matter of the peak was insane.
Yeah.
And now they're back down to like a more realistic level.
Yeah.
But the true rare stuff is still commands a premium. Like it's people want those logo mans and all that stuff.
Yeah, you're probably the guy to ask about this. Like, so the Jordan Star rookie. So wasn't there like something to where like somebody went on strike or something happened to where they took over and printed the cards for that particular time frame? So I've heard something about that being Jordan's true rookie, or is it the Fleer that's the true rookie, or what's the deal with the Star?
The 84, 85 Star is his true rookie card.
Okay.
Beckett kind of changed that whenever Beckett magazine they decided that it wasn't a rookie card unless it was distributed across the nation. The Star was only available in the Chicago area.
Oh.
And the guy printed them out of his house, basically. The guy who owned Star.
Yeah.
And then there was some confusion because they started, I guess they were easy to counterfeit. So there for a while, only Beckett would grade them, but now PSA is grading them again.
Yeah.
So I guess what happened, there was like a second print of that card that came out because, the guy's printing them from his house. I mean, he printed some in 84, he printed some in 86. It was just his thing. But they were calling those, I think they were calling them counterfeits. And that's why everyone stopped grading them for the longest. They didn't want to acknowledge that card. But last year when PSA, which is kind of the biggest, the CGC of trading cards, when they decided they were going to start grading them again, it really brought about people throwing money at it. Like I've seen some, I think the highest one was about 100,000.
So it's not as valuable as the Fleer. It was never as valuable as the Fleer then, right?
Not really. Like the Fleer's always had that, it's iconic, right? Him flying through the air and whatever.
Okay.
I think that's the one of him flying through. I'm pretty sure he's flying through the air.
I'm just asking because when I was younger, my comic book and card store had a Star Jordan rookie card, and I want to say it was about $1,500 or something. And like I said, it was long. I'm an old man, so it was a long time ago. But it wasn't graded yet. It wasn't graded or anything like that. It was just raw. But so I had no idea what the grade was. I didn't even know about grading back then or anything. But I think it was about like $1,200. And I have to kind of think about that card or wonder what that would be worth today or what grade it might have been or whatever. Because it sounds like $1,200 would. Maybe that sounds like it might have been a lot for it back then.
It might have been a little bit high, but honestly, like if you play the long game, right?
I didn't. I got a stupid David Robinson rookie card instead. It's worth less than what I paid for it, I believe.
Which is sad because he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's great. I think I paid $30, $34, $35 for the card, and I think it's probably worth less than that now. I'm not really. It might be worth more. I don't know because of everything that happened, but I haven't looked at it. But I think I paid $30 for it. He's one of my favorite players, and I got like a Charles Barkley second year card and all my favorite players, but I didn't get Michael Jordan or any of the really, really good ones. So I didn't do so well on those.
I have my Michael Jordan Fleer rookie card story as well from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like we had a local shop and it was $325. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I wasn't old enough to drive yet, so we're talking like 93 probably.
Yeah.
And this card shop, he would buy whatever I took in. He would buy it all and give me store credit or whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, I finally, between my lawn mowing and card sales and everything else, I had the money saved up. My dad never took me anywhere, mind you. So this was a special occasion.
Yeah.
And we get to the shop and I go in there and it's gone. He had sold it the day before. And I was like, dejected. Which knowing me, I would have traded it for something stupid. So,
Yeah. Would you have sold that if you had that, man? Would you have sold that when it got up to that $600,000, $500,000 range? Would you have sold it?
Yeah, absolutely.
No nostalgia here. No nostalgia here.
I've been around cards so long that there's no way that's sustainable. I'd sell it from the peak as if not that you can time the market. But if I saw that, I would know that in a couple years' time, I'd be able to get one back for a lot cheaper because that's just not sustainable. There's too many of them. There's no reason that card should have ever got that high.
Yeah.
There's just too many of them. That's like, to me, it'd be like grading a, cover A of a modern book. It's like, hey, in 20 years, this is going to be a $500,000 comic.
Space Jam came out and.
The first appearance of Spider-Boy. Oh yeah, we're gonna cash in on this guy or girl.
Oh yeah. We're kind of we can't. See, that would have been something that I loved. So I would like to think that I would have been smart enough to sell it for $500,000. I think I probably would have.
About that.
But I don't know, man, because like
I mean, if that's the case,
yeah, I mean, if that's the case, yeah, but you don't really know, but like yeah, whenever the comics were at the peak, and all our books like our keys were at the peak or whatever, we didn't sell the books that we liked. We probably should have, now that I think about it, but
I mean, hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, and
I never bought the books to flip or make money. We bought the books because those are the ones we wanted.
Yeah. So now this book's worth like 4 times what we paid for it.
But obviously, like now, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm glad you should have gone back and bought them and had some, like,
yeah.
but
yeah, like, oh my gosh, there's just a couple of books. If we would have sold them when they were at the peak, like, we could have bought them back in the same grade and had like so much money left over.
Nicer grade.
Yeah, like buy them back in the same grade or maybe a little bit less grade, and have a ton of money left over. Like, God, if we just would have cleared everything out and just bought them back in lower grades, like.
I mean, that'd be so tough to do. Though.
Oh, but yeah, we just couldn't do it. It was just the thought of doing that like made my heart sink. I was like, I can't do it. Like, I did think about it. I was like, I can't do that. Like, these books mean something to me, and I don't know what's going to happen yet because I hadn't really seen anything quite like that in the comic book world. I've seen it in other collectibles before. I've seen it with some things, but I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I figured it wasn't sustainable, but you don't know how long it's going to go on or how much it's going to drop down to, know. And then I can think, well, if I do that, let's say I sell this book and then it's 25% higher 3 months from that, and then I could have got 25% more for it. Then I'd be upset about that, and so it's just too much for me to mess with. So
you can't time a market. You really can't. Like, you just have to have, like you said, a goal and what you're willing to spend on something. And if you can't find it in your price range, you move on to the next book on your list.
We're much smarter and much better at buying than we are flipping and selling and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, we just don't do it. So it's not in my blood to buy comic books. I know I'm fine with people that do, and I know a lot of people do, and they're great at it. And I can learn some stuff from them. And we do it every once in a while, but very rarely do we buy stuff that.
But that's generally because we have to. Like.
Yeah.
It's because we want to get that other book.
Yeah, so we have to, or we can't get the book. So yeah.
Well, selling is a lot of work, and if your heart's not into it, you won't enjoy it at all. Like, it's a hustle, and I got so burnt out on that hustle whenever I first started doing this whole YouTube thing. Whenever it was, I did not realize how easy it was to make money in comic books back in 2016, 2017, because you could go into these stores and find all the Adam Hughes variants you wanted and sell them for crazy money. It's like,
remember there was some that you told us about, and we went out looking for them for us and for you and stuff like that, and we picked some up, and I guess we sent them off to you to sell or whatever. And so I don't even know what to put those out or what to do.
Well, I think too, we got burned selling on eBay.
Yeah.
And we just kind of didn't want to mess with selling.
Well, it's because you have to deal with people, and those people on eBay can just be so finicky. And, no matter how many pictures you send them, you already know how some of the conversations are going to go.
Yeah.
Does it have any spots on it at all?
Yeah.
Probably it's a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah. We can be that person too, but we're reasonable. It's like, can I see better pictures of it? Like, if I'm going to pay a lot for a book, I want to see better pictures of it and do good pictures and stuff. But we're good buyers and good sellers, though. But,
well, I think obviously the market's different, but like when I sell something and I mail it, I treat a $1 book the same as I do a $100 book. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that's not entirely true, because I do have a policy for myself. Anything over $30, I put in a top loader. Just my own personal thing. That's how I shipped it. Because I want them to have a nice display when they get it anyways, because obviously they're spending, $30 for a modern book it's not rare. That's it's still a relatively nice book, we're not all shooting for, we can't all be $1 million books, as they say. But I do try to treat every person the same when it comes to getting their book out. It doesn't matter. You still paid $1. I still accepted your money, so I'm going to mail it to you like I would expect it to be mailed to me. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I've had more because I have an eBay store, as I think everyone's probably well aware. But I sell mostly trading cards on there. That was kind of what I did it for, was for trading cards. And then, I do sell like the Kickstarter stuff. Like I tell you guys, if I buy a set and if it comes with a nudie book, I sell the nudie book, and that pays for my collection, because that's the one way to keep myself collection paying for itself, because
I thought you did the opposite. I thought you kept all the nudie books and stole the other stuff.
I do have a nudie book. You want to see one? I edited it for you. Ta-da!
Okay.
So
Is
this
that
was
short?
I don't know if you're familiar with the artist Joe Picard.
No.
Not Harvey Picard, but Joe. Anyways, he does like this series was called Redhead Tales.
Okay.
So obviously he's got a fashion. This guy has a slight obsession with redheaded
Okay.
women, because he's done some other redheaded books as well.
Yeah.
But he has a character called Brandy Bear, and it's like her going to college tales. It's almost like an erotic version of like Archie. If I want to get down to it, it's literally like that kind of stuff.
Are you trying to plant seeds in there? Like,
No.
Yeah.
But
it's like
anyways.
Archie. I swear.
That was from a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Start seeing, like, hat covers and stuff.
The non, I think I posted the non-nudie version on Instagram. Just a cute little fun book.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that'll go up here pretty soon, because I just don't need my children coming across my collection when I'm dead and be like, "Dang, Daddy, you were a monster."
Yeah.
But I mean, you're dead, man. Like,
True. Y'all deal with it.
Them in the corner and laugh. Be like, ha
And what's
go through my collection. See the legacy I left for you.
Yeah.
What would really happen is they would find the Post-it notes that says, "Call Hazel Dan with any questions about comics."
Oh man, that would not be a fun conversation.
Why does my daddy like movies so much? I don't know.
Dad wanted you to give those to me. Heard they were like Archie, but dirty. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, that's kind of how that's just how I do things. I mean, everyone, Kickstarter is not a guaranteed profit maker by any stretch. I don't want people to think that, but at the same time, I love a lot of the artists that they use, so it gives me something rare to chase for a particular artist or whatever. Like I can't wait till August when the Lady Death comes out with that Jenny Frison cover that people are going to go nuts for. So, I mean, it's Jenny Frison and it's limited to 90 copies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'll be a big one. Yeah.
I mean, look at what the Art Germ Lady Death goes for. If you pay attention to that stuff, like it's some crazy money for something that costs you $20, $30, up to $50 to start with. So
yeah,
that cover is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. Like, you talking about the Art Germ one?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you talking about? It's gorgeous.
The Art Germ.
Yeah, I agree. It really is. It's one of his finer works.
That's saying a lot too, because he's got a lot of great stuff. Like,
for sure.
He's a great modern artist for sure. Yeah, he's a great artist.
I like his little his collection of artists that he has under his brand. I don't know if you ever go to his website, but he's got like 5 artists under him.
Yeah, like Ichikar and
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Kunka.
Yeah.
Derek Chu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's another one that I'd never seen them before until this week. They're doing some Dallas Expo variants that are only available at Dallas Expo. They're not even going to be online, and I'm really bummed because one of them is they're all Street Fighter covers, and I'm like, one of them is like my favorite character that I really want a cover of, and it's only available there, limited to 400.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
So unless I'm flying to Dallas at Fan
I
Expo
was
next
going
weekend,
to say that you have a goal, JP. It's going to cost a plane ticket.
I'll wait for eBay. I'm good. I'll
This
pay
book's worth
premium.
$200. I had to pay $1,000 to get it.
Yep.
Flying all over the country. Yeah.
And then six
No,
months
I
later,
literally
it's $25.
Yeah. Cost me a hotel room, plane flights, and
That'd be crazy, but whatever.
the
I've
Kickstarter
seen
one.
I've seen some people on IG already asking if anyone's going so they could pick them up a copy of the
Yeah.
Chun-Li cover. I think it's some obscure Street Fighter characters that they're doing. Like obviously there's Chun-Li, which is very popular. Um, I don't even think there's a Cammy cover that they're doing because they did one for their website, which I did get one of those as well.
Yeah.
You're like, check.
Yep. That's the downfall of being on their email list. You get all that information right there at your fingertips. You're like, oh, I could go for that. Oh, it goes on sale tomorrow at 6 p.m. Perfect.
Do you ever set a reminder on your phone?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If there's something I really want, and I have to remind myself because, let's be honest, like I get flooded with those kinds of emails, from Stadium Comics and all those Great Wall and everyone else that I've subscribed to because, hey, you gotta subscribe to them, right? So you can stay up on that pulse because I'm a variant whore. I can't even lie about it. That's just my thing. Especially if it's got bubble gum or bathtubs or swords.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you, Pope?
I just think it's funny that you say, like, babes with blades, bubble baths, bubble gums, and then like all these covers show up for you. I say shark tits, and I get I get one cover.
And it's from like the 70s.
It sounds so random, but well appreciated.
Speaking of random, you might appreciate this. Are you is it heavy metal? Heavy metal. I gotta find it. Dang it. Where's it at?
Are you talking about a heavy metal magazine?
Oh no. There we go. Right here. You ever seen this lovely Cradle of Fifth bathtub cover?
Oh, I almost bought that for you. It's actually sitting in my, I have a list that I have that in my cart.
Oh my gosh, I found it at my LCS.
I was like, holy shit.
I went to my LCS last Wednesday or something, whatever it was, on my lunch break, and I was just, they have, I'm going to ask the guys if I can videotape their store sometime because it's massive. Like, the amount of books that they have is just insane. Their wall book goes, we're talking about like a 17,000 square foot store, first of all, so give you an idea if you can do the size of that. Their wall books go from the register all the way around 3 walls. And it ends in a corner with the Star Wars. They put all the Star Wars books with their figures. So you have all the Star Wars stuff together. The wall books for Star Wars are right above their figures. Anyways, I just go around drooling at the wall books, until I have a crick in my neck because I've been looking up so much. But anyways, I followed that trail of joy to the corner, and I never noticed this corner, but on the corner they had like a showcase, like a trading card showcase, and they would have they have like Kiss cards and that kind of stuff in there, non sport cards.
Yeah.
But they have these like short boxes sitting on top, and I was like, feeling a little devious, right? Ooh, what's in these short boxes that I've never seen before?
Incense
like,
and candles burning around them.
They're not labeled. Like, I don't know if they're like a customer
on the top of the box.
Weird music kicks on when you step near it. Yeah.
It started with a slow riff of chum 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 chum.
So I just started flipping through there, and I was like, oh my gosh, they had Kickstarter books in there. They had like these like naughty books, if you will. And And then I saw that Cradle of Filth book that I've been looking for. It had been in my watch list forever on eBay. I just didn't want to pay the freaking $6 shipping for a book that I literally just wanted for my niche collection. So anyway, saved me the $6 on shipping and got it for cover price and went about my happy little day. But it goes into my little bathtub collection. So yeah, I can tell you're super impressed by my bathtub collection.
I think it's a fun collection. Yeah,
really fun. Yeah, the bubble gum and the I think that's actually really fun. Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. I
like seeing a book and be like, "That's a JP book." Like,
yeah, I really started falling in love with the copper tone covers.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why do I have to add another niche to my belt?
We like Archie. That's kind of not a lot of. I mean, there's enough people that collect it, I guess, but like we're like that with Archie stuff. Like we just whatever's Archie, we're just gonna pick it up, modern, old, bronze, whatever. Just if it's Archie, we like it. Yeah. So.
Well, it's just, I mean, that goes back to the whole collect what you love, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I know that there's no rhyme or reason to my collection. I'm not ever going to compete with people with the most viable collection because that's not what I'm after. It's viable to me because it's what I like. And, I'm hoping that someday I'll be able to have a house and put my wacky stuff on display and, I'll be that weird old guy that no one wants their kids to go visit or something. So, I don't know. But, my goals are pretty simple. I don't, I had a guy reach out to me on Instagram recently. It's like, hey, do you buy comics? I go, I sure do. I go, you got any bathtub covers, bubblegum covers, copper tone covers? And he sends me 4 videos of like Fantastic Four from the 90s, and I'm like, nah, I think
that's exactly what I said.
I think you missed what I wrote there, bud. But like unless there's a Sue Storm cover I'm not aware of.
I don't see any bubblegum in the mouth, so
I don't know. It's just I don't get hit up much on Instagram for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for the most part, the people that I talk to on the regular, we all kind of collect the same stuff. Like we're into that niche stuff, and then of course, you guys are got your own niche, if you will. So
yeah. And it's not the most popular thing in the world or whatever, and some people would say we're crazy for some of that stuff or whatever, but it's where our heart's at and it makes us happy, and then
absolutely.
Doesn't matter what, even like go nuts over the modern ones and just everything, like dollar bin stuff and I just like all of it.
Well, I just know you guys have. I mean, you guys obviously because I know you guys on a personal level, but just the passion that you guys have for what you collect is truly what. Like I love getting those texts like, hey JP, we're gonna do this. We might be going for this book, and I'm just like, oh, let's do it. Like I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the one giving up stuff that you guys have had to make those decisions. I'm there with you. Yeah, go ahead, do it. I would do it.
Like, did you tell JP yet? She goes, yep, he already knows. I'm like, all right, sweet. What does he think? Like we're always kind of wondering what you think and what your thoughts are on it and stuff like that. So we love you to death, man. We appreciate all the support. Like you've always supported us and encouraged us with whatever we want to do, whether it's feasible or not, or whether it makes sense or not. You're always on our side and pull for us. So we really, really appreciate that from you a lot.
Well, absolutely, man. You guys are my favorite couple. Straight up, I love you guys like family for real.
Yeah.
I will maybe even send you a postcard at Christmas.
That'd be so nice. Can you make sure that it has Archie on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now maybe I could get one of those like artists to do like a custom postcard, or a Christmas card.
That would be amazing, actually. Yeah, that'd make my year.
If I can get Joe Picard to do you a nice Archie cover.
That'd make my year. That would be really cool. Yeah.
Return to sender. No pornographic mail.
Return to sender.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching your guys' videos. Like, I think you guys have an awesome variety of stuff. Like, and
Thank you.
I mean, I love the fact that it's funny because like I'll see like this horror stuff you guys will show, and then oh, here's some Archie books, and which are and it's just like, oh, cool. Like I just, it's just something. I just love it all, and I just love like how excited you guys are about. Like you guys love what what you're getting, and you can really tell. I mean, it really shows through your videos, and one of my favorite things to watch, see your reactions are of like when you guys get your CGCs in, and it's like, oh, I love this cover, it's my favorite, and then the next I was like, oh, I love that cover, it's my favorite, and I was like, that's how I feel every time. It's like, oh, this one's the best one. Like, no, wait, this is the best one.
Yeah, but then I've always got to I don't mean to do it either, but I'm just like Debbie Downer. I'm like, yeah, it only took us a year to get it back. Right. I know that book's a 9.8. We got it back in a 9.4. That's a bunch of crap.
I love the banter though. Like, did you get this from your sister? No, I bought this on
I come off as pretty dumb in those things half the time. Yeah. But no, we have fun with that. We really do. Like whatever it is. Like I got a bunch of stuff when I was a kid growing up and stuff we bought together, and doesn't matter for stuff we got out of a dollar bin or something we had to save up a year for, whatever it is. Like we just love what like JP, we just get what we love, and we get what we want, what makes us happy, and so I think we have a pretty eclectic collection. I would say, yeah.
Well, I mean, look at the waves that we ride, right? Like it's so funny. It's like, if it weren't for you guys, I never would have bought an Archie comic. I promise you that. Like it never would have triggered with me. Hey, you might like some of these innuendo covers.
We're gonna get Pope too.
Oh, I got
Sabrina.
But like we're gonna really get you though. Like you're gonna be like you're gonna shift from.
This is what we need to get Pope into.
What's this? Oh, this right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Check this out.
Oh damn. That's
He sold you. You already sold it right then. He's like, yeah, I'm in.
This is it's Clive Barker. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Clive Barker, but he's like but he's like Hellraiser. The director for Hellraiser, and he's a novelist, and he's also an artist. So he does like a lot of art, and we collect his art as well. And but it's mostly horror and grotesque,
some pretty stuff.
But it's pretty. He has some pretty stuff too. Yeah, but yeah, we got this a couple of years back, but we love it. We got a bunch of his stuff too. Like, yeah,
that's one that needs to be framed.
We need to frame that one. Yeah, let me see if I can get another one. He's out here.
I met him when I was like 13.
Oh yeah.
He was there in Arlington when they had the comic show. Was in like Arlington Convention Center or whatever. Yeah. He was doing a book signing for whatever sweet. Book.
Yeah.
So I remember because he had like an art gallery set up for his paintings, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is scary, right? Because I'm 13 and I was just going to get. I think he wrote a book called like Weave World or something.
Yes.
My stepmom was a big Stephen King and Clive Barker fan, so she was like, I'm gonna get this book signed for my stepmom. And I'll get in line or whatever. And back then, Clive Barker he looks like a giant nerd. He had the big glasses and like the total 80s full head of hair, and it's like that guy comes up with all this evil stuff. Oh my gosh.
He was very attractive when he was younger. I mean, still
not anymore.
Not anymore.
He's not. Like he hadn't aged real well. But
I mean, he's been
sick and stuff like that. That's the problem.
He's been sick.
Yeah. He's one of our favorites. We met him, and man, it was so much fun. He was such a sweet guy. Like we met him a few years back, but he was just so nice. And we got some of his art there. Like we were hoping. He was just one of the people we wanted to meet the most, at these conventions and stuff like that. And we're like, if he has any art, like, do you think he'll bring any art? And we were just hoping so bad that he would bring art. We went into the room, man had his art just like all from wall to wall, all over the place. And oh my gosh, I almost cried. I was like, oh, I can't. This is so cool. I got really excited about that. And then his manager kind of hooked us up and talked to us, and we got to meet him a few times that weekend. And
Nice.
it was fun, man. Yeah, but he was so nice. Yeah.
So did you get the Weave World signed, or what did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I sure
wow.
did.
You still have it?
It will be at my dad's house and my stepmom's, because my stepmom collected thousands upon thousands of books.
Okay.
So my sister donated a bunch of them, so it's possible it could have got donated, but at the same time, it's very possible it's still in her bedroom. So
Yeah.
my stepmom passed away in 2018.
Okay.
So I haven't gone through. I went through some stuff because she still had like the first Stephen King book I ever bought her, which was like that Green-Eyed Dragon or something to that effect.
Oh,
What it was actually called.
is it like Dragon Tears or Tears of the Dragon or something like that?
Yeah,
Something
Tears
like
of the
that.
Dragon.
Tears of the
I
Dragon.
remember it was like
I love that book.
a green book cover. Like I bought her a hardback, and that was like the first book I ever bought her.
Okay.
But anyways, I was going to ask you guys, since you're Clive Barker fans,
Mhm.
do you have any of his adaptions into film that you actually enjoy? Because I know a lot of people don't enjoy the adaptions, but I was just curious if you guys had a preference. I have my personal favorite. But
yeah, it's the original.
Are you talking about Hellraiser or just any of the stuff?
You talking about like Hellraiser
books that were adapted to film?
I like
yeah,
most of. Yeah,
I like
I
all
like
of them.
I like Nightbreed. I like Hellraiser. Especially the first one. I like I like them all actually. Yeah, I kind of like them all, even the bad one. Yeah. Like
I really like Midnight Meat Train.
It wasn't the best movie in the world, but we still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Which one? Yeah. Sorry, I was talking over you.
Rawhead Rex.
I don't think
Have you seen that one?
I mean, it's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie,
but it is fun.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's like, hey, if you want to watch a good horror movie, watch Rawhead Rex. So I wouldn't do that, but we still liked it though because we just like his ideas and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
But
I mean, I would like the newer ones that I guess Hulu, like the Book of Blood.
Books of Blood. Yeah. Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
That was pretty cool. I thought it was all right.
I thought it was okay. Yeah, I like that one story with the main story with the guy that was getting the stuff like scraped on his skin.
Uh-huh.
I really like that story. Freaked me out. I thought that was a great story. I like that one really well. I think they did that well.
Me itch.
Yeah.
I like Midnight Meat Train.
It is Hellraiser, like the
Hellraiser,
first one. Yeah.
And if you get a chance, get on YouTube and watch it's the Hellbound Heart. It's like his original story, So look up Hellbound Heart, and it's
he does the audio.
He does the audio for it, and it's Clive Barker doing the audio. So he kind of does the voices, and it's really creepy. Because it's his vision, So it's like, and so you get an idea of how like he probably intended these characters to be and how to sound. And the Pinhead, like, it's not really, the priest or whatever. It's not really Pinhead, but you know who I'm talking about. He's just so creepy. Mm-hmm. He's just androgynous and weird and just cold and creepy, And the way he does that voice, and it's not like Doug Bradley at all. It's just almost like the complete opposite of Doug Bradley.
Yeah, because it's very. I guess what you said, like just emotionless.
Yeah,
like
it's like emotionless. Cold,
like just very detached.
It's just very detached, very emotionless, and just very androgynous, and it's just creepy, man. It's like a dead soul kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but Doug Bradley was real more animated and loud, and this is just like, you got like the quiet person in the fight, and they're a little bit more scared of the person that's making all the noise, And it's kind of like that. It's like, oh, this guy's bad, You can probably get the sense of pleasure and joy out of this stuff, but he's not like over the top with it. It's just real cold, and it's good, man.
Yeah.
And so if you get a chance to check out that, it's a great listen. Yeah, we liked it.
You have to send it to me. I'm looking for.
I never listened to any of his audiobooks. I mean, obviously, he's one of my favorite writers, and I've read a shit ton of his books, but it's just
Okay.
like. In
What's
fact,
your favorite book?
I'd have to say, oh God, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say. There's too many good ones. I'd like to say I like Imaginica, probably.
Okay. Okay. See, I've never read, like, honestly, I haven't read any of them yet. But I like the movies, and I like him, and I like his art. So I've always been fascinated by his stuff and listen to the audio and stuff like that. But I never actually sat down and read the book, but listen to the audio and stuff like that on it. But yeah, I've always wanted to. I need to sit down and have a good read with one of his books. I think. Yeah.
Well, like if you read the the one that was based off Hellraiser, it's
Yeah.
a short read, but
Yes.
it's really good. And what
Yeah.
I like the second part that he did to it, the sequel, which is the Scarlet Gospel.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That one is really cool because it really dives into who the Hell Priest is, and
Okay.
like it talks about him being in like hell and like what he's trying to do,
Okay.
like what his actual goals are, and like,
Okay. The motives and like what he's really like and all that kind of. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's interesting.
The only book I read by him was The Midnight Meat Train.
Oh, yeah, that one. We saw that. Yeah, we saw that movie. That might be my favorite. That might be my second favorite movie that he's done.
I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
Having read the book before I watched the movie, I was like, dang, they really kept. That's why I was asking you guys. I was going to that. What my lead up was to that movie because I thought it was very well adapted.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect from it, but I love that movie. It's probably my second favorite Clive Barker movie, and just the end of it just gave it actually made my skin crawl. Like when I saw the end of, like the very end of it and the plot that was revealed, like the hair stood up on it gave me the chills. It freaked me. It was good, man. It was totally unexpected. I was not expecting that at all. It's like, oh man, that's freaky.
I also like the actor Bullet Tooth Tony. You got to have him in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know his real name. That's just how I'll always know him because of freaking Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
So good.
Is it something Jones? Vinnie Jones?
Yeah, Vinnie Jones. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. And then Doug Bradley. Is that right? Is it Doug Bradley? No, not Doug. That's the guy that does Bradley Cooper. Doug Bradley. Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even remember Bradley Cooper being in that movie. He was probably the main character, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Probably before I knew who Bradley Cooper was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the main character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
That was a great story. Man, you guys got me wanting to read that stuff now. Yeah.
I just picked up a new horror book. It's called Little Woods. I haven't started it yet. I just got it in the mail. But it's supposed to be scary. Of course, they're all supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say my favorite Clive Barker thing that's happened to me, A.G. Mock.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of books, but this one's supposed to be the scariest thing you've ever read. So we're gonna find out. I'm like, come on! I've read Revelations. You guys don't know what's up. As a 15-year-old, that was the scariest thing I've ever read.
Well, it's funny. Me and my wife, there used to be a bookstore in our town. Sadly, it closed down.
Yeah.
But I went in there, and I was like, every time I went in there, I looked for I would go straight to like Stephen King and Clive Barker, and to see if any new stuff, or I say new stuff come in, but it's like they sell a lot of used books.
Yeah.
Like I was just seeing if like a new I guess load came in or whatever. But I found a copy of Imaginica in there.
Okay.
And, I had it for maybe a few years.
Yeah.
And then, because I just knew I was gonna buy it, so I bought it. And then I decided to reread it, and so I grabbed it, and then when I opened it up, I never realized it. I was like, "Holy shit!" It was signed by Clive Barker, but then it said to Kent. best wishes, and
Yeah.
the guy who I didn't want to say his last name because he actually was the guy that married me and my wife. Like,
Yeah.
like I was like, what the? I was like, because like he's head of a church over here, and I don't want
Yeah.
you
That's funny, man.
You're like, so reading some Clive Barker books, are
He
you?
was just doing research.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's
It's like
funny.
best wishes, like Clive Barker. I was like, baby doll. I was like, this is signed to the guy who married us.
That's so funny, man.
That's hilarious.
We got married by some guy that looks like the lead singer of Smash Mouth.
Yeah. We got married in Vegas, and I swear that guy got into a drunk fight the night before or something. He had a black eye. Yeah, and his eye was like, he had that bruise on his eye, and he looked like the lead singer of Smash Mouth. Like, so I kind of questioned the legitimacy of our marriage, but I think it's good. I think it's good. But.
You're like, are we secretly in a video? Like
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
video?
It was weird, but that was a lot of fun though. So.
It'd be great if you would have started out your nuptials with hey now, you're an all-star.
Yeah.
Get your game on.
Yeah. Go
play.
Yeah.
I used to do that to my bosses. They'd ask me questions, I would answer in song lyrics, but as like a tone of, just whatever.
Yeah. And I remember when I was talking to the person that owned the venue that was trying to make the plans of the date for it and trying to figure out like the best date for it and everything, and wanted to make sure that it's gonna be outside, like where on this rose garden thing, like really pretty area, and he's talking about like the weather and all that kind of stuff, and to make sure there's no weather's gonna be good and everything like that. And he goes, I can almost guarantee there's not gonna be any rain. And I was like, you sure? And he goes, yeah. It's kind of living in a desert. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any rain. I think we're going to be
convincing, huh?
I think I think we're going to be just fine. Yeah, it's cold. It was cold. Yeah, it was cold, but yeah. So. But
Reminds me of another song, "No Rain" by Blind Melon.
No rain. Yes, that's a good one.
90s kids, man. Those are the days. Well, I don't know. We've been on for almost an hour and a half. That's like a record for us.
Oh, wow. Okay. Has it been that long?
It has. I know this isn't a David show where you can go 3 to 4 hours. But
yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
So, you guys, any plans for the weekend? Anything going on? We'll just wrap this up with some weekend talk.
Tomorrow I'm going to go meet my guys from my church group, and I'm going to hang out with a friend, and I think that's about.
We might help.
I think we might do a video chat with Comic Books Galore and his wife tomorrow. It's not going to be anything on, like, we're not going to stream it or anything like that. We're just going to kind of hang out for a little bit like we are now, kind of stuff like that. But I don't think it's not going to be like a video that we're going to show anything. I think we're just going to kind of hang out via video chat for a little bit, catch up on stuff. Yeah,
there's something
like that. Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Sean G. Pope?
Me and the family are going to be heading to the beach.
Oh, it is. I knew that was coming up. I just remember if it was this weekend or if I missed it.
Nope, we're leaving early in the morning.
That makes sense. You don't want to be up too late tonight then. Got to get up and drive.
Yes.
How long a drive is it?
Like 2 hours?
It's about 9 hours.
9 hours? I thought you lived like 2 hours from the beach. Like, I'm like, that's no big deal. Dang, that's half a day.
If I lived 2 hours from the beach, I wouldn't even announce it. I'd just be like, yeah.
9 hours.
Isn't there like something closer? I mean, I'm like 9 hours from a beach, man. I'm in South Dakota.
Just go hang out in the backyard or something and bask out in the sun. No? I'm lazy, so I don't want to drop for 9 hours.
Go buy a sprinkler or something.
Yeah. Get one of those little plastic pools and
throw some sand on it.
Yeah, we got one for our dog. I guess it'd be good for. I don't know. Wouldn't be good for people, I suppose. But
But they
I'm
have
gonna
bigger
take
just
the
use your
children.
imagination, jump inside the plastic pool, and sit out in the backyard. It'd be great. Save 9 hours. No, don't do that. Go over. That's fine.
I think I'm gonna take the kids to watch Into the Spider-Verse Part 2 or whatever.
Okay.
Seems
Cool.
like a good matinee thing to do.
Yeah, let us know how that is.
I don't know when the last time we went to a movie
It's
at the
been a
theater.
while.
We haven't been in the movie. Yeah, we haven't been to the theater in like a while. We spent money on a movie in a long time. Yeah, a couple of years. I don't think we've been to the movies in like a couple of years actually. Yeah.
Well, I go like once or twice a year, so it's not like I get out very often. But
We don't do nothing.
when you got this many kids involved, it's kind of hard.
Man, we don't do anything.
We just sit in a cave and collect comic books.
Coloring any visitors comics.
And we text our friends once or twice a day and sit in a dark hole.
I'll trade with you for a day,
Just
Yeah.
for a day.
maybe a week.
Maybe a week. Yeah.
But anyways, I suppose we can wrap this
All right.
puppy up. So we do appreciate you guys being on with us as always. Well, not always. This is the first time, so
Yeah.
we appreciate you as always. But we
Same
appreciate
here.
you joining. And I
Pope,
appreciate you.
nice hanging out with you, Pope. Had fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for jumping on. It was really cool to get to know you a little bit better and have like a somewhat face to face.
Yeah. It's definitely enjoyed this a lot. So thanks for having us on, guys. Yeah, we appreciate it for sure.
Absolutely, the pleasure is ours. But community, we'll talk to you next time. You guys appreciate you watching on the rewind or whatever you do. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.